back, everyone. You're watching Coastal Living, and it's time to talk nerdy. And what other thing would we want to talk about? It's MLK Jr. Day, right?
That's right.
So today marks the 25th anniversary of the Day of Service that celebrates a civil rights leader's life and legacy. So in 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. helped to organize the famous March on Washington, where over 250,000 people attended this march in an effort to show the importance of civil rights legislation. Some of the issues the march hoped to accomplish included an end to segregation in public schools, protection from police abuse, and to get laws passed that would prevent discrimination in employment. So it was at this march where Martin gave his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, which we all know at least a few words to, and it's become one of the most famous speeches in history. So the March on Washington was obviously a great success. The Civil Rights Act was passed, and a year later in 1964. So did you know that Martin Luther King Jr. was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize?
Did you know that? I did. I read on it, but it's interesting to learn
it's
about
for his
him today.
nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. And at 35 years of age, he won this. The Georgia-born minister was the youngest person ever to receive that award, which is, I think, really, really big. And he was huge on nonviolence, you know, and peaceful protests, which I think is very big and the cause of all of the success of his movement, right? So I found some fun facts on Martin Luther King Jr. So if you want to stump your friends today and they're trying to tell you like, oh, you know, he won a Nobel Peace Prize and he was the youngest person to do so. He also got a C for 2 semesters in a row in public speaking.
That is so hard to believe considering his "I Have a Dream" speech was immaculate and I think one of the best speeches in history.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's good to know if you're, you know, in college and you're not doing so great. You still have a bright future ahead of you. Just keep practicing. He also earned, the reason he's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is because he earned a doctorate of systematic theology, which is very impressive. He was also arrested and jailed 30 times in his life.
Wow.
Yes. And another interesting fact that I found was that he spent his wedding night in a funeral home. Because of segregation, they could not find a hotel that would allow African Americans to stay there. Wow. So they have an interesting story, and look at all the changes. I'm sure that was just one of the millions of things that inspired him to create the movement that he made. Right. But those are just a few fun facts for you, a little water cooler talk for you, if you will, today at work or to share with your friends. So he did so much for the community. Today is a very big day, and as we talked about in the previous segment, this isn't just a day off, a day to, you know, slack off or kind of take care of errands or stay in. Right. Get out there, participate in the march, and be a part of the community, be a part of the movement. I mean, although this happened so many years ago and it really wasn't that long ago, our generation has a big opportunity to make similar changes. There's still so much room for improvement in our society, and I hope that someone like Martin Luther King Jr., an event like being present at the march and seeing what he was able to do with his life, inspires people to do the same as they grow older, and this can happen at any age.
Right, exactly, and give it back to our community especially, and we have a list of ideas to talk about here shortly, so I'm excited for that.
Exactly, so it doesn't just have to be going out and being, you know, bold and giving speeches in public and standing up for society. You can also just give back in not such small ways. It's not a small way, but we came up, like you said, with the list of a few ways for you guys to give back. So you guys want to stick around for that.